Are you ready to dive into the world of project management? Hit that subscribe button as we explore how to stay relevant in the agile workforce. All projects have some form of transition, so you have to plan for your transitions. So you can download this study guide, as like all study guides that we have, on the EverTech and the Project Leaders page. So let's follow along. We're first going to talk about the transition plan. The transition plan is a document that describes the outputs of a project and how we will transfer it to another organization, a functional group, or some other entity within the performing organization. It must be created after detailed discussions with the sponsor and also the customers. Remember this as a key tip. The transition plan is not a component of the project management plan. We're also going to talk about product transition. Product transition includes a formal handoff of a project's outcomes to its recipient. It can be to a client or to the next phase of that project. That is the product transition. Outcomes include products, services, or benefits. Sustainment is transferred to the next level after the outcomes. The transition process ends only when the receiving entity or organization that performs all preparation receives the project end product and incorporates it. It can be contracted and it can be based on activities, or it can occur within organizational functions or projects. So product transitions can be contract based, based on activities, or it can occur among organizational functions or projects. So we're going to talk about transition plan components. These plan components, you want to make sure that you understand these when you are planning out your transitions. The transition scope specifies what must be included and what must be excluded from the transition. It identifies the stakeholders and organization or group to receive the transferred products. It ensures the project benefits are measured and that the benefits sustainment plan exists. It includes the resource release plan, and it also specifies what resources must do after the benefits are realized and the product is transferred. It creates financial closure plans that describes the requirements for the closure of the project for its financials. And it also ensures contract requirements are consistent for the specified contract and that's in place. It also determines the process to receive the deliverables and also the acceptance. It also designates the project closure criteria, and it is communicated to appropriate personnel or people with approval. And it also lists the impacts of the project closure and describes how the organization or its structure will be affected. One other key component in your transition plan is going to be transition dates. These must be included because it includes the project, product, services, or results that are going to be handed off to the recipients. And you need to have these dates included in this transition plan. That is a key component of that transition plan, the transition dates. We're also going to talk about knowledge management. Knowledge management includes techniques to share information with the project team to improve outcomes such as quality assurance, and it also includes fewer defects. It has fewer defects because you are improving that quality control. Examples include shared learning throughout the organization, such as training users on working with new software applications. It could also be a repository. Let's also talk about project training events. And this commonly occurs during the transition stage, and it includes demonstrations provided by the company on the product or service. It teaches the recipients how to use the products or service. It doesn't occur earlier while the work is being done because it's too early. And then also extended support. Extended support is a type of assistance to a company. A service provider could extend a warranty. So that's also another example of extended support. Extended support may include technical support, customer service, software or product support, troubleshooting, maintenance, and any other upgrades, installation, or configuration past that warranty period. These are other types of support or transition support that you may have. So we're also going to talk about some guidelines for developing that transition plan. You want to first define the scope of that transition. You want to check the project schedule to verify when the product, service, or the result is ready for that transition. You want to identify the stakeholders in the receiving organization and their functions and request their participation in planning project transitions. You want to mention the level of ownership. You also want to include organizational process and assets that were previously used. You want to create and release the benefits sustainment plan based on the benefits acquired. You want to plan the product training events during the transition process. Let me repeat that. You want to plan the product training events during the transition process. You want to decide the period when the company can provide support for that product, whether that be extended support. You want to decide that period. You want to plan that transition period of the project products, results, or services with the stakeholders and others related to that project. Once again, this is a study guide about transitions and transition plans. You have to plan for transitions. All projects have a start and an end. Once again, like, share, and subscribe if you're not already following. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more project management content. See you on the next one.